Hey, it's Minimalist Gourmet. Today we're going to be making some fantastic honey garlic pork chops. Not only is this recipe super simple and quick to make, but it's going to elevate your humble pork chop up to a gourmet status. Not only that, I'm going to teach you how to brine your pork chops for maximum juiciness and flavor. So let's get crack-a-lackin'. We are going to start off with our brine. If you've never used a brine before, this is simply a mixture of water, salt, sugar, and other spices that we're going to soak the meat in. The reason that we do this is because the salt and sugar and other flavors are going to be absorbed into the piece of meat, drawing moisture and flavor in. This technique works best for things like pork chops and chicken breasts that are a little bit drier and tend to dry out a bit more when cooked. My water in the bowl is at room temperature, and we're going to add in our salt, a bit of white sugar. You can certainly use brown sugar if you'd like. And to balance out these flavors with a little bit of acidity, we're going to add some apple cider vinegar. You could use white vinegar, white wine vinegar, even some orange juice or lemon juice work great. Now just mix this very well until the salt and sugar dissolve. If for some reason you want to use hot water to dissolve this faster, that's fine, but you do need to let it come back down to room temperature before you start brining. I've put my pork chops in this plastic container up on their side, that way they have maximum contact with the brine. Also, you can use a plastic Ziploc bag that works fantastic to keep the brine in contact with the meat. This is totally optional, but I'm going to go ahead and add in some whole black peppercorns, just spread those out, as well as one bay leaf for a little bit of added flavor. Now we pour our room temperature brine over the pork chops. You want these to be submerged as much as possible, if not completely. Now we're going to seal this up and store it in the fridge. If you have thin pork chops, 30 minutes to an hour would be great. For my thick boys here, we're going to do about 2 to 3 hours. My chops brine for about 2.5 hours. You want to take them out of the brine and then rinse them off under some cool water. That's going to rinse off all of that salt and sugar that's on the surface. Next, we need to make sure to dry these very well. If there's a bunch of water on the surface, when we go to sear them off, they're basically going to steam or boil instead of searing, and that's not what we're looking for. So just towel them off completely until they're dry. Let's get cooking. In my pan over medium-high heat, I have my butter melted already, and I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil. Make sure your pan is well heated all the way through before you put your pork chops in because we want to sear these. When you put them down, make sure to press it so that it comes in full contact with the surface of the pan. If you're using a thin pork chop, you're going to sear it for about 2 to 3 minutes per side. If you're using some thick boys like I got, you're going to do it more for like 4 to 5 minutes per side. And as always, the recipe is down in the description below, so definitely go down and check that out. And while you're down there, don't forget to like, share, and comment. And if you haven't yet, of course, subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. And thank you so much to all of you that have subscribed already. I really appreciate it. These have been searing off on this first side for about 4 minutes, and they're looking good to me. So I'm going to go ahead and flip these over and sear them off on the second side. Just repeat the process and allow them to sear for about 4 to 5 minutes and develop that beautiful crust on this second side. If you're new to cooking, I recommend using an instant read thermometer. It's going to tell you what the temperature is on the inside of your meat here. That way you don't overcook it. It's a common problem and an easy way to avoid it. These look pretty darn good on the second side, so I'm going to go and pull them off and stick them on a plate. I think this pig might have known karate because these are some pork chops. Reduce the heat down to medium and we're going to start building our sauce. The first thing that goes in is our garlic, which we're going to stir fry for about a minute or two until it's nice and fragrant. Then we're going to add in our chicken stock for a bit of salt and flavor. Chicken stock isn't available where I live, so I used a portion of a bouillon cube and a bit of hot water. Our sweetness comes here from a bit of honey, and we're going to round this out with a nice little touch of acidity by adding a bit more apple cider vinegar. Blend all your ingredients until mixed well. If you have very thin pork chops that are already fully cooked from the searing process, you can just put this sauce over the heat and reduce it down until it's nice and thick. Now, because my pork chops are so thick and they're not totally done cooking, I'm actually going to go ahead and put them in the sauce so they can finish cooking. When you finish cooking them in the sauce, it does help add a little bit of extra flavor to your pork chops. But if you're using a very thin pork chop, you certainly don't want it to be overcooked and rubbery and dry when you're finished. So you can adapt this recipe to use what you have on hand. Definitely make sure these juices get in the pot as well. My pork chops need to finish cooking for an additional 4 to 5 minutes here in the sauce. I'm going to go ahead and baste them every 30 seconds or so, and I do like to flip them over about halfway through cooking. That way everything gets a nice even opportunity to be in that beautiful sauce. A few years ago I was walking home and all of a sudden I was attacked by 3 pigs. They came out of nowhere. It was a ambush. All right, my pork chops are done cooking, so I'm going to go ahead and pull them off the heat. That way they can sit on a plate here at room temperature for a few minutes and rest. If you would like, you can stop cooking right now. The sauce is finished. However, I like mine to be a little thicker, so I'm going to go ahead and continue cooking it for just a minute or two. That way it's going to thicken up nice and beautifully. This is completely up to you and totally based off preference. I like a nice thick sauce that's super sticky and really holds onto that pork chop. This looks good to me, so I'm going to go ahead and turn the heat off and stop right here. For your thinner pork chops, you can let them rest at room temperature for about 5 to 8 minutes. For thick boys like this, you want to let them rest for about 8 to 12 minutes. That way, when you cut into them, all of that moisture that was absorbed in from the brine doesn't just run out on your plate. When it comes to serving, I like to spoon a bit of the sauce right on top because this is a flavor explosion and should definitely be used. I'm going to finish mine off with just a little bit of green onion tops. I really like that nice fresh herbal flavor right at the end. Man, I can't wait to try this. This recipe was quite simple, and excluding the brining time, it actually took less than 30 minutes to make. Honestly, if you skip the brining entirely, this is absolutely a recipe that you can come home after a busy day at work and have prepared and ready to eat in about a half an hour. Best part, everyone's going to love it. These things turned out amazing. They're nice and sweet from the honey, they have a little acidic kick from the vinegar, and they're perfectly seasoned completely throughout because we brined them. The flavor balance on this is on point. It's crazy how delicious this tastes considering how easy it was to make. The best part is because we took a few extra minutes to brine them. They are so juicy, it's incredible. This recipe was so quick and easy to make, it would be fantastic for a busy weeknight dinner, but it does taste so darn good, you could easily serve this for date night as well. Thanks so much for watching until the end. Since you liked this video so much, I'd like to recommend my honey soy chicken recipe right here. It's just as good and just as easy. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I can't wait to see each and every one of you here next time on the next episode of Minimalist Gourmet.